code, and then I have to unlock the waiting room. Perfect. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome. Oh, sorry. I don't know, which is this. Okay, now we can start. Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to another online experience on Joiners. I'm really happy to be here again with Fedrigoni. We are already through the X Club Challenge by Fedrigoni Group. We have put together this live session to catch up with the Fedrigoni experts, and so we have Marta and Clement. Welcome, Marta. Welcome, Clement. Welcome,
Welcome everyone. Thank you.
Welcome. Also to share your experience and grab some valuable insights to make your challenge submission even, I think, stronger. Clement Lesniak, Sustainable Solution Manager, Self-Adhesive Business Unit. It's correct, Clement?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm recently moved to a group position, so taking in charge also the special paper pipe, but we will see that later on. No worries.
Perfect. I read special paper in Marta Windows. Yeah. Marta
Yes.
Franceschi, Senior Product Manager, Creative Communication and Special Papers Business Unit. Guys, let's go with a quick heads up on how this webinar will go. In a while, I'll pass the mic to Clement, followed by our first Q&A session, and then same thing after Marta's talk. You have the possibility, and this live is has been organized for your questions, your curiosities, your doubts. So feel free to write them in the chat. We will have 3 different Q&A sessions to read all your questions. Maria, welcome back on Joiners.
Hi everyone, welcome to this live session. It's great to see you again.
I'm sure that we can start with a video, correct?
Yes, exactly. So we're just going to show you a teaser of what the people who will win the national selections will be invited to. So basically, Fedrigoni will give you the chance to participate to a very exclusive event, which is the Explore Fedrigoni Creative Summit. And we're just going to watch together a teaser of this event to make you a little bit more excited about what is going to happen very soon. So
Let's go. Yeah. Maria, sorry,
Yes.
did you share also the audio when you share the screen?
Yes, I should have. Sorry, didn't you hear it? Wait.
Because we were hearing a noise. I'm not sure that everything was okay.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yes.
share it again. Let me know if you can hear it now. Can you?
I'm not sure. Marta, what do you think? No, it's
No.
a noise.
We can hear something, but it's just not good enough, I would say.
Okay, let's see. Sorry for this, guys. This is the beauty of things live, let's say. Okay.
Otherwise, we could
Can you
also
hear
share.
it now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. Okay.
Cool event in Paris.
Yeah, so
I'm
save the date,
looking,
guys.
I'm looking forward. Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome. Ooh.
Okay, Clement, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. This slide actually is not making me any younger, to be to be fair, but I think that what the message that we wanted to convey, and at least I want to convey with this slide, is that there is an old expression, I would say, that said that all the roads are leading to Roma, so tutte le strade portano a Roma. But in this way, I would say that all the roads are also leading to Fedrigoni, because in a way, if you look at where I started more in the chemical and very technical, let's say, background, and having also a business side, because this was my strategy by going from my studies actually to other part of science, also a part of marketing and sales, to be, let's say, as flexible and as polyvalent and versatile as possible. Then I started my let's say my journey in the world, in the wine business. So more on the technical side and on the marketing side. So more on research and development and also in marketing. And then I started, let's say, also entering the industry, the label industry, the packaging industry in general, by working for a French company that's called Otageon. Actually, it's worldwide company, but it has started in France. And in 2021, I joined Fedrigoni Group in the self-adhesive division, so in the material for labels, for sticky labels, as let's say on the technical part, so helping our customers at the printers in France, in Benelux and Scandinavia. And then I transitioned to the sustainability world, where I managed the sustainability strategy of the business unit, also of Fedrigoni self-adhesive. And then I moved recently a few months ago to a group position, let's say, taking over also the special paper part, so the both activities of Fedrigoni Group, the self-adhesive part and the special paper part that we will describe a little bit, let's say, later on. But I think that the message is like, don't be afraid, let's say, to think about Fedrigoni, because in this group there is many people of various horizon and various, let's say, origin in general, and there is not one degree, one school, and all the creativity and all the minds are welcome, let's say, within Fedrigoni. Then I think let's deep dive in our products, because I think this could be, let's say, helping you quite a lot with the creative project that you are all thinking about and developing as we speak. So I will say very general, but in the questionnaire and the question in the question section that you have, feel free to ask any question, even if it seems details or very technical. Feel free to let's say raise the hand and ask any questions. So we can move to the next slide. So very, let's say, broadly, Fedrigoni is actually having two main activities. So one main activity is called special papers in general, which is making more or less paper. So various type of paper for a lot of application. The main one is actually would be the luxury packaging. So all the type of packaging that you can think about that are involved in the luxury, let's say, well, Marta would be an expert of it, so she can help you answer any question on it that's not obviously linked to sustainability, but in general. But then there is also some fine print and digital printing, so the publishing world in general. So there could be magazine, but also books that could be concerning to it. Then also there's what we call the technical papers. So it's where we enter the connected world in general. So this is something that at your age you are, let's say, very knowledgeable about. So it's all the connection that you can and the interaction that you can have with your phone, with a lot of materials. But this is also englobing some let's say some type of end products that called gift cards, because in general in Europe this is something that we know, but we are more prominent to offer real gift in general. So when you want to offer a bottle of wine, I don't know, a phone, a jewel in general. But for example, in North America, this is something that is vastly used. So the gift card is actually the number one gift that people wish to receive, and the number one gift that people are offering to others. So this is also showing the logic of Fedrigoni. It's not only an Italian company, but a worldwide company based everywhere in the world. So we are not only tailoring and crafting, let's say, products for Italy and for Europe, but also for the whole world and all the consumer all around the world. Then there would be also the part on art and drawing. Maybe the Italians here are knowledgeable about the brand of Fabriano. That would be in France. We have something called Moleskine also, but let's say it's a really, let's say, well-known brand in terms of art and drawing. Then school and offices too, and brand protection, which would be also on the self-adhesive side, because there is, in the world of security, in passport, in a lot of application, and there is an amazing world behind it, because when you need to have protection and to be sure that your material will not be counterfeited, then there is a lot of know-how to have technical aspect, technical products that are fascinating, honestly, to deep dive into. But that's also one of the big know-how of Fedrigoni Group. And then that was only the special paper part, so we can call it the non-sticky world in general. But then there is what we call the self-adhesive part. So this is where we are laminating products, so creating, let's say, assembling different type of material that we call a carrier, an adhesive, and a face stock in general, that are used by our customers, the printers, to create self-adhesive labels, so sticky labels at the end that you can see all around you. When you go to a supermarket, you can see labels everywhere on your shampoo, on wine bottles, on fruits and vegetables, and then on a car battery, on a phone. And there is many applications on meat. There is so many applications, and then there is a lot of technicality behind it, because all the labels, they are not the same. They don't serve the same purpose, and then they need also to be applied at the right spot at the right moment with the right specification. So there is also a division also in terms of premiumness or luxury too. So the wine labels, the spirit labels, the beer labels, there's the fine papers with a lot of let's say, difference. They can be shiny, they can be uncoated, as we call it. So there is they are, let's say, felt mark. So it means that they are a little bit rough, but there could be also transparent. They could be also white. There's many materials. Then
sorry, it was just an invite for the participants to
oh yeah, sorry. No,
provide
feel
some
free to
question
interrupt
for
me.
you.
That's fine, because
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt Clement.
No worries, I can talk for hours, so it's good to interact me to be honest. Then that's one of the activity of Fedrigoni self-adhesive in general, so the business unit or the labels that I have described. But then let's not forget also what we call the graphics materials. And graphic materials, they are all around us, let's say, but more at a large format. So when you go, I don't know, in Milano at the Christmas season, then you will have the shops. There will be a lot of Christmas decoration. Then when you come back 3 to 4 weeks later, then the decoration have changes. But the shops, they have not, let's say, been reworked. They have only, let's say, being, let's say, changed in terms of decoration. And this is using films that we are doing and are converted by our customers. Then here we can also think about this specialty tapes, sorry, which is very dedicated application in the industry. So in automotive, in transportation, in planes, in aeronautics, so very specific application. But as you can see, and brand protection, as we already mentioned, but as you can see, there is a lot of application. So it starts from different type of papers, so non-sticky papers on the special paper side, and a lot of different self-adhesive material that are made of a carrier, siliconized paper, and also the sticky part, which would be the face stock that is with the glue, with the adhesive. And all these material, actually, they needs they need to be sustainable at the end, because in the old world 30, 40 years ago, then there was no need for this product to be recyclable and to be part of the full packaging industry. And I do believe, and that's crystal clear at the moment, that in the coming years and the coming decades, all these materials will be part of the sustainable environment that we will be all living in. It will be part of circularity, because paper should be, let's say, a circular way of building packaging, and self-adhesive labels, they should be, let's say, enhancing also recyclability, because they are carrying a lot of information in the special paper part of the self-adhesive part, because they are always converted, they are transformed, they are printed, they are die cutted. There's a lot of process. They are really processed after the product that we do at Fedrigoni. So in a way, I don't know if we do the question live, or do we do it later on?
At the end of your speech, Clément.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'm arriving at the end, and
Yeah, don't worry.
That's also just finalizing the different overview on the product portfolio and all the application that we have. It's more on the connected solution, because we mentioned in the gift cards and on these type of, as we call it, smart paper. So it's not only paper, but it's also linked to a chip. So with different technologies that are englobed in the world of RFID, with UHF and NFC products. But then in the self-adhesive world, they also exist, because for application one, you need to have a stock also application. So let's imagine an Amazon warehouse, for example, that you need to know exactly at any time the exact stock of all the products that you have into your warehouse. If you do not use this type of technology, so a chip per product, then it will take you ages to count all the boxes of each article and each reference that you have in your warehouse. But with this type of connected solution, you can have, let's say, between 15 to 1 hour, depending on on the surface of your warehouse, you can count everything with a scanner, more or less. And so this is the type of application also, and this is the world that Fedrigoni is also providing to the industry. More or less, this is the type of industry that we are serving. So I spend a lot of time, let's say, describing the products that we have. But as you can see, there is the fashion and luxury, the jewelry and the watches. So in Switzerland too, for example. And then as we call home and personal care, the beauty and personal care, so we call the cosmetic world in general, the wine and spirits, that would be also very important for the group, and we are one important player in this world. But as you can see, there is the government institution would be on the brand protection side, for example. But there is like the industry. So you can see the scope of application that the Fedrigoni Group is actually serving, not directly, but through our customers and through the industry. But every story is actually starting at our level, because we are crafting the products that are transformed and converted to be used in these industries. And I think that from my side, I don't know if there was any question. Amazing.
Just a curiosity, Clément, do you have a favorite industry?
For me,
Yeah.
would be the
maybe linked to a passion or something you developed during your life.
Well, in a way, obviously I have a favorite, because I entered Fedrigoni thanks to the wine and spirit range, because the group that was a label printer, it was a label printer that was specialized in the wine and spirit range. So let's say my favorite papers would be Tintoretto Gesso in general, because I've let's say sold so many square meters of Tintoretto Gesso, and it has helped me in so many situations. And I will let's say it was my first friend in the self-adhesive world and the label world. So I'm a loyal guy, so let's say I will keep it by my side for a long time.
Another question, just a curiosity that I will share also with Marta in a while. If you have a favorite color, given that when we talk with Fedrigoni, we talk with a world full of colors.
It's something that is linked to one of our products too.
Yeah.
It's a sort of blue. that we have in the range. That is the Ispira blue, and I really love this blue. It's in French we call it bleu royal, so it's like a regal blue. I don't know exactly how to say it in English. Maybe Marta, you know exactly the
That's
pattern.
exactly the way I would describe it. Royal blue, or yeah,
And
navy
then,
blue, maybe. It depends.
exactly, and then for me it's like it's something that I, let's say, really like, because this is not the usual paper that you will print with many colors. It's actually the other way around, because it's a tainted in the mass paper. It's a blue paper all around, and then you are putting hot foil onto it, white inks, and then there is, let's say, a sort of magic, I would say, in this type of materials. Then I don't know, there was a few questions. Regarding paper, do you also deal with washable craft paper? Marta, I don't know if you can help me on this. I don't know exactly what it means.
Washable, you mean for like clothing and it's kind of stuff, paper that has to go in the washing machine? Really, sometimes we have requests for papers that needs to withstand washing, or yeah, we happen
The reuse
to
of bottles, that would be also one of the application. I don't know
yes, I
if
was
you,
gonna say that
if you
depends
can,
on.
let's say, it's Ludovica, if you can, only reusable, let's say, so reusable, then there would be the reuse of, let's say, wine bottles. So for sure it exists in both business units in reality, in reality, because the special paper is also making paper for wine labels. But it's true that in the wine and spirits, let's say, world, the ratio of self-adhesive labels is like 95% in premium papers, for sure, and 5% of what we call in Italy carta cola and or wet glue labels. And then it's true that with wet glue labels, it's quite easy to be reusable, because you need to use the right glue, more or less. That is allowing the washability of the container at the end of life. And we do have a self-adhesive, let's say, range with a dedicated construction, with a dedicated glue, dedicated adhesive, and dedicated papers too, that are actually also compatible with the reuse system. And then with the aging, because you know that in wine and spirits, let's say, application, in beers application, there is a lot of challenges for the packaging and the labels, because when they are applied, you put it in the fridge, you put it into ice, then there's a long life and a long, let's say, different aspect and parameters where the bottle is actually submitted to. So here the adhesive must be washable at the beginning of the life, but also at the end of the life. And the aging parameters and all the let's say the challenges that the labels should let's say resist is actually quite high. So we do have the two range, but always looking for, let's say, new ideas. Let me be a little bit probably quicker on the question. Do we have to use only existing Fedrigoni paper, or we create something of our own? Maria, I think it's we can call it a blank pages. There is no need to use the existing products of Fedrigoni for the project, no?
Sorry, I lost you for a little bit.
No, sorry. It means that for the project, it doesn't need to be an existing product or an existing Fedrigoni paper.
No, it doesn't need to be an existing product, for sure. The only thing is that depending, like if you're developing a packaging, especially, our advice would be to use materials that we're already using. So fibers, mostly, so paper, but also cotton, for example, like everything related to fibers, and not like other kinds of materials like cork, for example, or glass, and so on. That's the only requirement. So to reply to your question, no, it doesn't need to be related to an existing product. Actually, if you have an idea that is totally disruptive and that is not related to anything we're doing, we would really appreciate the creativity and innovation you would bring. Yeah.
Thanks. I think it answers exactly the question. Then there is a question of Veronica. The self-adhesive has some other application. Yes, indeed. It's true that the main one would be, in terms of volumes and volumetry, would be the labels. I think if you can go back 2 slides, if I'm not
Yes.
wrong. that would be easier. So that's let's say the first line premium self-adhesive labels, and then all the application that you can think about, even in the food business, in food and beverage. But then here think about the graphics. So it's more the decoration, so large format, but also for some application that we call car wrapping. So car wrapping. So it means when there is like you want the red Ferrari on your car, but you don't want to paint it, then you can use a film with actually red, and you are wrapping your car with it. So there is, let's say, many applications that are not considered labels, more or less. It's sticky, and more or less, even in brand protection, it's not really a label, more or less. Could be a layer of protection, or with not a protection, a physical protection, but a brand protection. So it means there is going to be some fluorescent aspects of fluorescent technologies onto it. So it's more or less, it starts with the same concept that is actually sticky. But then there's many applications and multiple ways to use the sticky materials that we produce. For the project, we should choose one type of product and propose the solution for that type of packaging.
It depends on you guys. Yeah, I can answer this question. So it really depends on you guys. You can choose multiple products and just implement a technology for a packaging that can be used for multiple products, or you can just choose one product and then develop the packaging or the label so that it fits the needs of that product. It's really up to you.
So that in a way, because there's a lot of question with the project and more or less the scope of the project, the scope is quite wide in general. There are not a lot of boundaries to block the creativity. Am I wrong?
No, exactly. That's also the main aim of the project, so that you can be creative, create something like that. It's super innovative that we haven't heard of, and just create something disruptive. So the only, I would say, limit we would give you is just that it has to be packaging made of paper or fibers, and that, or a label, and that has to be related to the luxury words. And that you should try to address either one of the two business needs that we gave you, which are one, anticipating what is going to happen in 10 years. So develop something that will be still considered innovative in 10 years, for example, and to create an idea that keeps giving, so something that is sustainable and reusable. So these are our limits, the limits that we give you. But apart from those, you have freedom to be creative and just to create something new. Yes.
I'm pretty sure that they don't need to create a physical prototype. That's in some applications would be challenging, too challenging, I would say.
Exactly. So what we ask you to end in when you're done with your project is actually a PowerPoint presentation with the one pager that we share with you, in which you will just summarize your idea. So what's the project about in few words. And then explain to us how your project addressed the business needs that we gave you, and that I just mentioned, and together with a SWOT analysis. And apart from that, all we're asking is to explain your idea through a PowerPoint presentation. So that's it. Nothing more, not a prototype. You don't have to physically create something. Let's say that.
And I believe that there is actually no budget limit in general, because it would be even a challenge for you guys to estimate the potential cost of your project. But maybe you know it, but I would say that no, I would not put any budget limit, because $1 million idea could be a billion dollar idea too. So there is no, let's not talk, let's say, about limitation on this on this matter for sure.
Exactly.
And then in terms of explanation, let's for sure, if you have some technical let's say, knowledge that could that you want to share fully fully open, but let's say, don't be blocked by the fact that as you are not yet professional, or that you let's say, you can be general, even if the goal is actually that the clarity is the main target, and also the consistency with the guidelines that Maria just explained.
Exactly. Well said, Clément. Thank you.
I do believe that we went in, let's say, in not so bad, let's say, over all the question. I'll try to regroup a few of them on the project. But if there is, let's say, I think for my part, I just have finished. But if there is, let's say, more question,
Yes,
let's say, comment.
Yeah, we're going to next introduce Marta as well, and she's going to
Exactly.
explain what she does and give you a broader perspective of what Fedrigoni does. But we're going to have more another slot in the end, so that you can ask all the questions you want. You can also ask more questions to Clément at the end, so no worries, guys. You can always ask them, and also reach out to me. You have my email address, so that if you have questions, we can totally answer them whenever you have them. Yes.
Thank you, Maria. I had some connection problems, but now it is okay. So Marta, the stage is yours.
Hello. So compared to Clément, I have a slightly different background, I would say, coming really from, but we have some similarities. So I also come from the chemistry background. I have a degree in toxicology, which is a branch of pharmaceutical chemistry. I've have specialized in the sustainability from a chemical environmental chemistry standpoint, being part of Ecol Studio, which is now, let's say, an European reality in when it comes to environmental analysis and consultancies. It is our partners, for example, for food contact materials analysis, recyclability analysis. So we still work with them. When I moved to Fedrigoni, I started as a laboratory assistant, in fact, working at the mill with taking care for the depuration systems, the emissions, and all the environmental impacts that the mill has. And then from there, I started to learn about paper making, which has a lot of chemistry to it, and physics, but also creativity. So it's really what we call heavy industry. So because it's really a manufacturing process, but it has a creative component to it, so an artistic almost component to it, especially when you go to certain products like papers with watermarks and so on. It has a big heritage. And so when marketing team needed a new product manager, I just jumped on the on the train, and I learned all I know about marketing on the job. So over the past 10 years. So I'm a strange marketeer, I would say. So I'm not coming from a business school or something, but I've learned with the support of my managers and all my colleagues over time. Yeah. So I'm lucky that Clément already introduced what we do and everything. So I could focus maybe on our sustainability journey, perhaps when it comes to paper, because I work for the paper business unit. Our motto when it comes to sustainability is making progress. So we know that we still have a long way to go to become really to improve our sustainability commitment, 360, I would say. So environmental, social, governance. So we acknowledge that, And we address step by step what matters the most, starting from the things that we have a crucial impact on, like CO2 emissions, water consumptions. These are the things that really matters for a paper mill, for example. And we do make progress every day, constantly, and step by step to reach our goals. So, of course, sustainability is, I would say, embedded in everything that we do, particularly in our products. We want to provide sustainable solutions, plastic to paper substitution when beneficial and when needed, and continue to innovate and let's say, try to solve with paper certain problems. And also by providing something that is distinctive from Fedrigoni, so our own solutions. We also establish real connections with our clients. We believe that relationships is key, so we listen to the client needs, to the client problems, and we try to develop tailor-made solutions. And of course, we do so also the other way around. So explaining, busting, for example, certain myths on paper making. So really telling them, look, these are really the meaningful impacts that we have. This is the carbon footprint of our papers. We are totally transparent when it comes to our achievements in sustainability and our goals towards 2030. So I would say customer intimacy is two ways relation with clients. So I would like to present you a product that really goes into these two directions. It's a product that we developed 2 years ago, and is distinctive because it's a solution that Fedrigoni has developed, and it comes from a very deep connection with our clients. It started from a request of a cotton making company, cotton textile making company in Italy. It's a company that provides textiles for brands. They had a lot of scraps from their production, which they couldn't reuse and went to waste. They said, we would like to reuse these scraps to produce paper. And with this paper, we would like to manufacture our catalogs. So we accepted the challenge and developed what you are going to see next in the video. So as you can see, this is a really circular economy story. So the scraps of our suppliers were reused to produce in our mills the paper that was later reused by the client to produce their own catalogs. So we avoided waste. We created something distinctive by continuous interactions with the clients. I hope this could perhaps inspire you in your project.
So guys, let us know if you have any questions for Marta. Something I'm really curious about, even though I'm working already for Fedrigoni, is about your background, Marta. So you have a background in chemistry, but still you're working in marketing. And I was curious, like, how do you think your skills, the skills you learned during your studies, but also later on, so you have experience also in a lab and so on, are now contributing in the projects you're working on, even if it's marketing, you know?
Yeah. So as a product manager, I think that having a scientific background helps a lot, especially with papers, but with any product, I guess. If you get the DNA of the product, so meaning how it is done, so the physical, the chemical components, everything that contributes to create the product as it is, then you have a very deep knowledge about it, and you can communicate about the product much more effectively, and and this is very, very helpful in the end to sell it. If you know very deeply what you are selling, it's very easy to communicate the added value that your product has compared to others, okay, or the cost. So why is this paper costing 100 rather than 20? No, because it has different chemical components that provide superior features to the product itself. So it's really about getting the essence of what you are communicating and selling.
Marta,
Yeah.
which skill from your team make you smile when you start a day in your office at
So first of
Fedrigoni?
all, the fact that they smile back, I would say. But I think we are a very diversified team in terms of backgrounds. We have pure marketeers coming from a marketing, let's say, background and education. We have people coming from communication. So everyone has his or her strengths. So we have a lady coming from sales, someone who has more analytical skills, let's say, in terms of marketing analytics, and everyone contributes with her strength. But in the end, everyone has learned everything. So this is what makes the team really complete.
Thank you. Veronica wrote, the Futura paper is only paper or is like cardboard also? I love the video presentation.
Thanks for the question. So yeah, Futura, we have produced this in 3 grammages. Lightweight, that can be used either for lining boxes or for internal pages of a publication. An intermediate grammage that can be used for shopping bags or for end papers when it comes to publishing. And a heavyweight cardboard that can be used, for example, for folding boxes or for soft covers of a book or a notebook. So different weights are suitable for different applications, either in packaging or publishing.
Perfect. And Ludovica, Do you also create packaging that consists of a different materials? For example, a box that has part in paper and part in fibers, or is it too expensive and time-consuming to include different materials in a single packaging?
So we create the paper that our clients use to make packaging. So, but yes, we do use in our paper in certain brands different fibers. We have, besides Futura that uses scraps, we have a product line that has hemp in it. We have paper that use waste of the cotton production. So yeah, we use a lot of different fiber composition depending on the brand. It is, of course, every time that you have to develop a new product, it is, yes, indeed expensive and time consuming. Of course, for every new development that we are asked, we go through a stage and gate process, meaning that the effort is measured and the business case is also measured. So volumes at stake, value at stake. And then if the effort and the cost and the time is, let's say, worth the business case, we decide to move forward with the development. Otherwise, the project is killed. Of course, we are not an NGO, so we cannot develop products, everything that we are asked, of course.
Yeah. I don't know, Maria, if we leave, if we left some questions before.
So yeah, we answered some questions already, but I feel like we missed a few. So I'm just going to go through them and reply to them once again. Just keep posting your questions, guys, if you have any. So what is the core objective of this packaging project? So I would say that you have total freedom about what is going to be your core objective of the project. What we're asking you to develop is something that is innovative, creative, and also to try address the business needs that I was referring to before. So make something that is going to be innovative in 10 years, even considering societal trends, the technology that you can implement within your project and so on, and also make it sustainable. So make something that can be reused multiple times. So that's basically the objectives that you should take in mind when crafting your ideas. Then we have another question. Should we explain the technical side on its production? Your choice. So one of the characteristics of this challenge is that you guys have so diverse educational backgrounds. And as Marta was explaining to us before, every background can actually give different perspectives, different skills, and give a different point of view to the project and make it totally different. So if you have a background, I don't know, in engineering or in chemistry or in whatever, and you're very good on the technical side, then why not? Why not explaining how you should produce your idea? That's a point that we'll totally take into account if it's good. So why not? But at the same time, if you don't have that technical expertise, then maybe you should focus on something else. As I said before, we're not giving you any limits, and that's the beauty of this project. You can really tailor it based on your skills and your preferences and your passions. Then, is it possible to submit the project solo? Unfortunately, no. One of the requirements of the challenge is to do it in a team. So if you want, I can just send you my email address on the chat so that you can write to me an email telling me who you are and that you have this situation that you don't have a team, so that we can assign you to a new team if you're alone. We can be absolutely free to choose the subject for packaging. Yes, you are, totally. Apart from the material you're going to use for your packaging idea, you're totally free to choose whatever subject you prefer. Can we be creative with the self-adhesive paper, for example, and add an innovation function to it? Yes. Yes, we were not going to give you any limits on your creativity, so you can definitely. For the project, is necessary to create a physical prototype? No, as I said before, you just have to end in a PowerPoint presentation in which you're going to explain to us like a summary of your project and what it entails.
There was a question about feasibility in general, and I think it's quite interesting to let's say not put too much barrier into it, because feasibility, it depends on your technical level more or less, because if you're really, let's say, skilled as you have said, Maria, in engineering, then you can assess very easily let's say from an easiest point of view, let's say the feasibility. But in reality, if you are not so technical, don't put any barrier, because it would be translating your idea into our world and on our machine and on our R&D process and development process. So that could be quite complex for you to assess the feasibility. So don't put yourself too much limit. Don't be crazy in a way. Think that if we are thinking about 10 years, in 10 years, and we are talking about sustainability, it means that the product shouldn't, let's say, seems to be increasing the pollution or harming the environment, more or less. So there should be, let's say, some common sense into the feasibility, but I would not be too harsh on, let's say, on the guidelines. I would keep an open mind, and I think we will treat it this way. There won't be any. Correct me if I'm wrong, huh? But
no, exactly. And also it depends on your background. Feasibility can be it can mean multiple things.
true.
So it can be business feasibility, so concerning costs. It can be, as Clement said, something more technical. So, for example, if it's actually a project that can be developed in real life with the materials you're suggesting, it can really, depending on your skills and on your background, it can be different things. So don't, but I would say, yes, like it can also be something very simple and based on common knowledge, common sense, I would say. Yes. How many How many projects we need to create for one label? Just one project, guys. And as I said, we're not giving you limits, so it can be an idea on how to produce it. It can be about the materials. It can be, but only one project. No worries. Then let's see. About the achievement for the 10 years, we have limits about the technology in our hands. No, you don't. Just choose your preferred technology and try to implement it and embed it in your project. So no limits here as well. I think we answered all the questions, but correct me if I'm wrong, Giuseppe.
Maybe yes. I don't know. I was checking, but yes, we should add an answer for every curiosities.
Yeah, but as I said before, guys, I just sent into the group chat of this meeting my email address. So if you have any questions, just send me an email. I'm going to be super happy to answer your questions. So really.
Perfect. So the next step is national finals in Italy, national finals, and then the street is right to Paris for the final in June. Good luck,
Exactly,
guys.
guys.
Good luck, and thank you for being here with us. Clément, Marta, thank you so much, and enjoy this project by your side.
For
Bye,
sure.
guys. Thank you for
very
joining.
much.
And thank
Bye.
you, Clément and Marta, to share your experience.
Anytime.
See you soon. Bye.
Ciao.
Grazie, Maria.
Everyone.